What's up, boys? It's my long-awaited return by I don't know how many people. Maybe I have like 5 dedicated fans. Either way, I have a good amount of subscribers, and I just love making content, but I have been straying away from it lately. So the only reason for that is because I've been trying to just make my videos better, and you might be thinking, Max, why are you not making videos if you're trying to make them better? That's because I've still been recording, still been editing, although not as much, and really just trying to figure out the absolute best method possible to make the best quality videos for you guys. One of the things I did in my absence was switch my editing from mobile to desktop, and you guys might be thinking, man, how did you not switch sooner? And I gotta say, the reason I didn't was because to me, I always thought desktop was a little bit like, ugh, like I didn't feel like transferring the files over. And I was just really lazy about it, to be honest, like super lazy about it. Because I thought, well, if I could just do it all from my phone and make it easy on myself, why not? But with that said, I am back and I'm going to be better than ever. This video is not as good as I would have liked it to be, simply because it's kind of just my introduction back. And on top of that, my recording audio was terrible in this video because it wasn't going through my mic, it was going through my phone instead. So anyway, look at this variation. Now, if there was one highlight of this video, it would be this movement right here. You guys can't tell, but I'm recording on my laptop and I'm hovering over my tricep. uh, it's a supported tricep extension that makes it to where your shoulder cannot come forward. A lot of people make this mistake on triceps by thinking that they'll get extra stabilization from resting the back of their elbow onto a pad or some type of bar or something. That doesn't give you any extra stability because it's not a counterforce to the movement at all. You need counterforces for extra stability. So when you're doing preacher curls, you are pulling the opposite direction that your elbow is digging into. Your elbow is digging into this pad, and you need somewhere to basically push into the pad while you're simultaneously pulling up. And, you're not even going to be consciously doing that during that exercise, but you guys understand what I'm saying. If you try to do a preacher curl without the pad, your arm's just going to fall straight down. You know what I mean? You're basically trying to do a front raise at that point. And with triceps, like I said, people make that mistake by thinking that they could just turn it into a preacher curl. The only way you can reliably add stability to your elbow is by using the resistance band in that manner. I know we're way past that exercise now and I'm doing rows, but dude, I'm telling you, I think that's probably the best tricep exercise there is. And I rarely say things with that much confidence about the gym, but if you have a resistance band that feels good on your elbows, that you are okay with wrapping around yourself the way I did, it provides so much extra stability and it makes it to where it's so much more strict. You're not going to find yourself ego lifting way more weight than you can handle because there's essentially no shoulder movement, right? So with that said, you guys see me using the belt here on the dumbbell pullover. Again, another insanely cool stability hack. Belts, bands, etc. Why do we want more stability? Because it gives you more motor unit recruitment. Why do we want that? Because you're going to have a better stimulus in your sessions. So with that said, I've been really enjoying what I'm doing lately, and I always like to mention the fact that while I do try to optimize my training to the fullest extent, you guys don't have to do that depending on the context, right? If you're really interested in hypertrophy and you're late intermediate in your training journey, yeah, you might be plateaued and scraping away for progress. You might want to try some of these hyper optimized exercises, right? Or splits. But if you're a beginner, man, or even early intermediate, you do not have to worry about any of this stuff. You're going to make excellent progress pretty much no matter what you do. Whether you're bulking, cutting, main gaining, doesn't matter. You training hard is going to provide the bulk of the stimulus you're looking for. Also, this guy's arms are huge. That's my buddy Joe. Oh, man, what's he doing there? Anyway, yeah, so like a lot of the stuff you guys see me doing, like you don't have to copy it if you want to see the most progress. I would say, especially if you are falling into the categories I just mentioned, like you don't ever have to worry about hyper optimizing things because you're going to make gains at probably the same rate that somebody who is hyper optimizing things would anyway. So the only concern is, like I said, if you are really, really, really plateaued, start mitigating your fatigue and raising your stimulus, and your training will be more productive. But overall, I hope you guys enjoyed my return video. I for whatever reason lost the posing clip. I don't think I pressed record. And I will see you guys tomorrow for leg day. It's going to be a great video.
We do a little cheating, right? Quite frankly, we had a very strict set, and then towards the end, it started to degrade into cheating.